pieces came together, because when the neurologist sat down and looked at everything, she said the root of all of this is head injury. This all went back to the head injury.
Your child is precious and depends on you for love, support, and protection. By following these guidelines at home and in your community, you're taking important steps in helping to prevent your child from suffering a brain injury that could affect the rest of his or her life. It's estimated that as many as 1,000 to 3,000 cases of shaken baby syndrome occur each year in the United States. It's a serious problem, but it can be prevented. The victims of shaken baby syndrome usually range in age from a few days to 5 years, with an average age of 6 to 8 months. 25% of these children die, while 60% suffer from permanent lifelong disabilities. In December 2000, Skipper Lithgow was one of those children.
As Peggy Whalen and George Lithgow get ready for the arrival of a new baby, their son Skipper is never far from their thoughts.
You sort of learn about children as you grow, and I think in many ways it was an opportunity I may not have fully appreciated if I was a father when I was younger. Well, I remember he was born the week before the millennium turned, and we made a wish for him.
You wished a lot of things for him. You had a long list of things.
But George and Peggy's wish for Skipper was not to be. In early December, while in the care of an informal daycare provider, little Skipper was violently shaken. No one knows exactly how many children are injured by shaking each year, but experts estimate that as many as 4,000 babies may suffer from this form of abuse.
We'll be hearing more from the Lithgows later in this tape. Shaken baby syndrome is caused when an infant or toddler is violently shaken. It usually happens when an angry or frustrated parent or caregiver shakes a baby in response to persistent crying. Many times, they don't intend to harm the baby, but momentarily lose control. Babies are at risk for shaken baby syndrome for several reasons. Their developing skulls are softer and more pliable and can't withstand the force of shaking. A baby's head is much larger in proportion to the rest of his or her body. Also, a baby's neck muscles and ligaments are still developing and are weak, which leaves the baby with less support to the head during violent shaking. When a baby is shaken, his or her fragile brain moves violently inside the skull. This can cause bruising of the brain as well as swelling, pressure, and bleeding. These injuries can cause permanent damage and even death.